help us to ensure that, one, we know who is truly poor and protect them and exempt them completely from paying taxes.
So this is a poor man protection policy.
It's a pro-poor,
okay,
pro-business, and pro-growth and equity and fairness.
You hear that? As you can see also, households, any 250k or less monthly will pay tax. If you now go to the body of this publication, you go see this one. The chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, said that under the new tax laws, Nigerian households, any 250k or less per month are classified as poor and exempted from paying taxes. What I'm looking at salary earners, so no be people in the company, no be limited though. I'm looking at people who say they be hustler and they collect this hustle with their personal account. No be limited liability and they talk for your hair. Okay? Poor people will pay tax. It's not poor person who get limited liability company. Won't continue. If you multiply this by 12, it's 3 million. 3 million naira. I will ask you which money they talk they don't pay tax on. No be 800k. Say 800k, they go deduct them. Abi? I see it's 3 million naira. 3 million naira. Is it not above 800k? That means you go remove this one from here. The poor will pay tax. I'm coming. Look at this. The same thing. Taiwo Oyedele, Nigeria households, any this amount will not pay tax. As you say, now only the father they earn this money, or only the mother, or mother, her father, salary. That is what 3 million per year, above 800,000. That statement now will more correct for you. Taiwo Oyedele was not appointed to define who is poor. Okay, that work has already been done by international bodies using clear income figures. I'm not here to use emotion. No. Figures. I'm a mathematician. Okay, we go use figures. There is a standard of defining poverty all across the world. Okay, there's an organization called IMF. Another one they call World Bank. They get value when they define poverty. The job of Mr. Taiwo now tax reform. If he was say poor people and no one more pay tax, he go check the definition of poverty. Go call you the figure, command them. But what do we see? They no command them. They will pay tax. Okay, not emotional messaging. Now tax reform, because if you are saying poor people no will pay tax, it's emotional message. For me, if you ask me to go give injection to person, the person ask me say he dey pay. I say he dey pay. No, this one he pay well. I'm not a diplomat. I dey talk am the way it be. No need to sugarcoat it. Let's continue. So saying poor people who pay tax is misleading for me. The law is simple. Income above 800k is taxed with few exceptions. Nothing more, nothing less. Facts, figures should guide policy. While they were making the policy, they should have used facts and figures, not feelings or emotional control. Okay? Now let's start. 1. What is poverty? International definition of poverty. You can't change it. Or let's say Nigeria, we know they're part of the world again. Official reference. The World Bank defines poverty using money figures, not emotions or politics. Source, World Bank Global Poverty Line, which was updated recently. Now we use for this definition. Extreme poverty, daily first. Daily money, when person will say you dey extremely poor, they earn according to the standard. Now $3 per person per day. If they earn $3 per day, you are extremely poor. Okay, convert to naira for daily understanding. That is $1 at this rate. It means now 4,350 per day. Now if person they earn, or go consider you say you dey extremely poor. Any around this amount, 4,000 to 4,500 per day or less, is in extreme poverty by international standard. Okay. Convert extreme poverty to annual income now. It means $3 multiplied by 365 days. Abi? That is 1,095 per year. Okay. It means 1,590,000 naira. Now if person where they extremely poor they earn or below, if you they earn this amount, forget how they do like this, you are extremely poor. Okay, not just poverty, extreme. Anyone any below this amount, that is 1.6 million per year, is in extreme poverty. So this law they tax not just poor people, it they tax extremely poor people. Extremely poor. No, if you go copy European tax method, you know, copy what they define poverty. Or they tell us say poor people no will pay tax. No. You say you know good for them. No need to color code them or sugar coat them. If you put that for inside the law, increase the threshold. Get the point now. They go pay extremely poor people. You that's extremely poor. You are going to pay tax. Okay? It means you are taxing not just poor people, but the extremely poor people. According to IMF and World Bank standards, the same bodies encourage taxation. This level is extreme poverty. You can't take their encouragement to collect tax. Then why you are coming to Nigeria, for instance, you can't drop their definition of poverty. Collect tax. You need that. Nigeria, you need that. Okay, good one. But you forgot to copy what they call poverty. You got the point now. So here I talk. There's a difference between a learned man talking and a layman talking. For a layman, 1.6 million, you are rich. But if you look at research, you are using figures, facts. It's like, why do PhD? You want the right anyhow. You must make references. You must quote. You must show. As it be updated, as that standard be updated. You saw me 2022 to 2025 update on the definition of poverty. Now they use so. So don't tell us say poor people no go pay. Poor people go pay unless Nigeria get where they define their poverty. You get the point now? What is considered poor internationally daily for extremely poor people? Now 4,400 per day approximately. Okay, between 4,400 now be poor. Above this, you don't move out of poverty. Say they earn around 10k, 9,100. All of the push you come over poverty. Now be that. Okay. Let's start monthly. For monthly, if they earn below this amount, 133,000, you are extremely poor according to one bank where they borrow us money, where they encourage us more collect tax. If they earn between this amount per month, we say you are poor. Above this 300,000, you are moving out of poverty. For yearly, if they earn 1.6 million and below, you are extremely poor. This amount, they people where they go tax. So this law, they tax extremely poor people. 1.6 to 3.6 per year, now be poor. You feel your own definition, you feel your emotion. But if you don't do any academic research before, I don't know if there is another way of defining poverty. If you correct me in the comment section. Because this poverty capital of the world, now this thing they define above 3.6, you don't they come up for poverty be that. You go agree say all this amount, they are above 800,000. So when Oga Taiwo they talk say poor people no go pay. No. No make us sweet. They go pay. These are poor people. They are poor. No make us sweet. They go pay. If you don't say they go pay for put them here, say below 3.6. We don't say now the rich. People don't come up with poverty. Now they target. This is not Nigerians' opinion. Okay, no be our country opinion. This is the World Bank international standard. How did they define poverty? If you say are they wrong, correct me in the comment section. We dey learn. We dey classroom. Let's use annual income to define poverty. This is very important. The World Bank defines poverty per year, not by vice. So we can say clearly, anyone earning around 1.6 million per year or less is poor by international definition. This is the base fact. The base fact. This law, when they create the law, no be Taiwo Oyedele, no be the committee member, no be FRS members, no. The law where House of Assembly passed, where they give them look at. I don't know the one they want to use for tomorrow, the Gazette, whatever, the Ammonite, the one they don't Colobitis put inside. Whatever, as long as this 800k and the threshold, come on rent, this extremely poor people will pay tax. Now, compare this with Nigeria's new tax rule. What the new tax law says, 800k is tax exempt. Abi, income above this is taxed. Here is the problem. International extreme poverty line now 1.6 million naira per year. Nigeria tax exemption now 800k per year. Okay? This means a person can be internationally poor, World Bank standard poor, and still be taxed in Nigeria. Okay? So the statement poor people will be taxed is factually wrong. I'm not saying just wrong, factually. Using fact where I don't show you so far. Factually, it is wrong. Okay? Why poor people will be taxed is misleading. Because poverty is not defined by the tax committee or tax master. Poverty is defined by international standards. The exemption 800k is inside poverty. Therefore, poor people will still pay tax. Now, the new tax law will tell us who they go tax. No be any human being. Because people are there now, give them 20 years, you no go see them again. Other people go enter. If they don't change the law, now what they see for the paper, they will take work. No be human being go define it. No be the chairman go define it. Now waiting the law talk and using the law to compare waiting international body define as poverty. This our law, the tax poverty. International standards, not emotional statements, define who is called the poverty capital of the world. Abi? You know, just say because you hate Nigeria. Nigeria is now the poverty capital of the world. Oh, you hate? No. We earn that name because they use their standards. So why is Nigeria be called the poverty capital of the world? Or World Bank international poverty standards, not individual opinions or emotion. They define this label. Now fact and figures. Okay? And what they don't define inside their dictionary or different definition. They all look and say, who be extreme poor person? They go use that. Look at facts. Come give you that name aside a country of particular concern. Okay? Nigeria earned this label because Nigeria has the largest living below the global poverty line. Over 60 to 70 million Nigerians live on less than $3 per day. This comes from World Bank and UN reports. So when you say poor people in Nigeria, you are talking about tens of millions. Many earn above 800k per year. Many will still be taxed. that you are earning above this no mean say you no dey poor. For international standards, no be below 800k they dey define who dey poor, who dey poor. They get their own. This one na be the tax law. So this tax law, this value put effort inside poverty.
You don't seem to understand the damage that is coming. What Tinubu and APC are doing currently, if you earn money, you pay tax. If you spend money, you pay tax. If you want to buy anything, you pay tax. If you want to sell anything, you pay tax. See, if you don't know how bad it is, you are going to be paying tax on money that is already being taxed and buying things that are already being taxed. Then they will not tell you that they want to eradicate multiple taxation. How is that possible with this policy they are bringing in? Let me tell you how this policy is going to turn you to slaves in your country. And I want to use an example so that even the woman in the market selling gari will understand. If you make 1,000 naira, for example, government will take 20 to 25% of that as tax. You want to buy fuel, government will remove tax from that money you want to buy fuel. You want to buy food, government will remove tax from that money you want to buy food. You want to rent house, government will remove money. You want to buy electricity, government will remove money. You want to buy water, government will remove money. You want to pay for your own security that the government has failed to give you, government will remove tax from all those things. So at the end of the day, the failure of the government, Nigerians will be paying for their failure. And what is this saying? Out of that 1,000 naira that you are going to make, government will end up taking 600 to 700 naira, and you'll be left with just 300 to 400 naira of your 1,000 naira that you suffered to make. Nigerians, that is what APC and Tinubu wants to do to you. See, let me tell you, what they are doing is the confirmed definition of monkey they walk, baboon they chop, as our Nigerian people used to say it. You better wake up. They are going to destroy this country beyond imagination. Apart from that, they have brought out a website that Nigerians should go and be registering with their information. Do not register because Tinubu has signed an MOU with France, another country entirely, a country that has left Africans in poverty, that has exploited Africans. Tinubu willingly signed your data to them, which means that if you are going there to go and sign on that website, automatically France has your data. You are now a slave in your own country, modern day slavery. Apart from that, you see these actions that have been taken and Nigerians are watching. 2012, we did occupy Nigeria. Tinubu led that protest. We came out and supported because the government also failed. It wasn't that it was good, but the government then was far better than what it is now. Let's tell ourselves the truth, the bitter truth. PDP was doing over $500 billion economy. What is Tinubu doing now? Less than 200 billion Nigerian economy, and he still wants to tax people. What have you given the people that you want to tax them? You cannot tax a country. You cannot tax a country beyond what the citizens can afford. How much is minimum wage? How much are Nigerians earning? And you cannot tax poverty above all. You have made the people poor, and you are still trying to tax the poorness that you put them in. This is unforgivable, and this is definitely not something Nigerians should sit back and keep watching happen. Instead of dividing yourselves, come together as one. Come together, unify yourselves, all religions, tribes, and regions, and fight for what you desire. Fight for a better country. If not, they will turn all of you to slaves in your own country, and before you know it, it is too late. So I am calling on all labor unions, professional associations, the civil associations, and even young, youth movements. We need to come together and resist this law with every single blood in our veins. I am calling on all opposition political parties, even people in APC that still have conscience, to come out and let's have a day that we are going to come out and show this government that Nigerians are not going to accept this criminality, this criminal law that is being, gazetted by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that it is meant to make Nigerians poorer in their own country, that it is meant to destroy Nigerians, destroy their economy, destroy their livelihoods, destroy their lives. Because this poverty Tinubu is forcing on Nigerians is part of what is giving room for insecurity. There is a reason why in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they put welfare and security there, going hand in hand. Because a country that lacks its welfare and security can never move forward. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and long live the great citizens of Nigeria.